The 20 car just unlocked itself because I touched the handle. So hey guys, thanks for coming by the channel today. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It is not specifically about the 996 today, but it is about my new daily driver, and that is a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek. Picked it up maybe 2 weeks ago, if even that, and so far I'm absolutely loving the car. My previous daily driver was a 2014 Subaru Crosstrek, which I absolutely loved as well. Did have a few problems, and we'll talk about that when I start going over the features of the new car and when we get out here and drive it a little bit. But overall, it was just a great little car, and I honestly never thought I would get rid of it. But this year, Subaru has come out with an all-new global platform, which affected the Impreza and the Crosstrek, which is essentially a lifted Impreza with all kinds of different suspension things. But it is such a better car that when I test drove it, I had to get one. So we'll talk more about that, but I just want to say thank you for coming by the channel and hope you enjoy this video. And if you have any questions or comments about the new car, about the 996, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. So let's take a quick tour of the inside of the car and kind of talk about some of the features that are inside, and I'll give you a chance to see how nice the new interior is on this 2018 limited Crosstrek model. So Subaru has done an amazing job in here with updating these cars, and I can't really speak to the 15 and 16 models, but I can tell you that from my 2014 model, this car is night and day nicer in here. All of the materials that they use, the leather on here, this was all hard molded plastic in the 2014 car. This little carbon fiber insert, you have these little orange stitches throughout the cabin, and that's carried through on all the Crosstreks. I think it's the premium and all the limiteds have those stitching. With the limited model, you get this 8-inch screen, which is your backup camera, Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay. I'm not sure what it's called. I use Apple, so I don't know. You have push button start. All you have to do is have the key in the car in your pocket to start the car. So here we have the car just in AC mode. You can see you have a screen here, but you can shuffle through all kinds of different things on here. Shows you your tire pressures, etc. Average mile per gallon, which this car is actually doing better than my other Crosstrek. This one seems to be about 2 or 3 miles per gallon better. You can go through that, and then you also have this little screen up on top, which is actually pretty cool, and it gives you different screens, and you can tell whatever you can put up here, whatever you want to show. Pretty cool. Again, Apple CarPlay, it has Sirius XM built in, and to be totally honest with you, the Sirius XM is the reason that I got the limited versus the premium. I just really like XM, and I like having it through the car instead of having to do an external one. So again, just these seats are very comfortable, very supportive. It's heated seats. There is, I believe, if I remember correctly, 1 inch more of legroom in the back. There's a little bit more cargo space with the seats folded down as well. Overall, really the big thing in here is just the amount of upgrade of the materials that they've used. My other Crosstrek was just incredibly utilitarian. Like I said, hard plastic on the door panels. The leather was leather, but it wasn't supple like this. This is actually looks like decent leather versus just kind of hard leather. I'd say like Walmart leather versus, Dillard's leather. This is not a Cadillac, it's not a luxury car, but it is very nice in here compared to what it used to be. I will also say that the biggest thing that really sold me on this car when I drove it was how absolutely quiet it is in here compared to the 2014. So coming around here to the back of the car, I'm 5'9", I have a 31.5-inch inseam, and you can see that, and my chair's put to where I sit, and you can see there's plenty of room back here, and it is actually a little bit more than it used to be. One of the complaints that I read about this car was that it doesn't have any air vents back in the back or USB plug-in. I get it, especially these days. If you have kids in the back, it's nice to have all that. Otherwise, I mean, it's very nice back here. These seats fold down just like the other one did, which is really nice. And I'll show you that here in a second. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So this is the room with the seats up. One of the big things that they improved that I really like is on my other Crosstrek, this would kind of curve out here on both sides. So they've really widened this area here to be able to get things in easier. You can get a lot of stuff in here. And I like that it comes with the mat back here to protect the seats, or to protect the floor and the seats. And the only package that I got on this car, besides all the standard stuff that comes with the Limited, is I think it's Popular Package 2, which is a home link mirror, which means you can control up to 3 either garage doors or gates or whatever from your mirror. You don't have to have the controller. It has these protective mats and floor mats. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, the bumper cover back here as well was included. So it's just the package that most people order, so they just kind of throw it on most of the cars. So you can see there's a decent amount of room back here, and you could probably, I mean, I guess it'd be a little bit hard, but you might be able to sleep back here if you really had to on a camping trip. But you can get a ton of crap back here, and it's nice for that. The name of the system I was trying to remember is called Blind Spot. And so you have a little yellow light here on both mirrors that flashes at you when there's a vehicle next to you. The premium model has 18-inch wheels standard versus the 17 inches of the premium and the base model. All of these cars have 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is nearly as much as a Jeep has. I mean, obviously there are some differences, but it's not going to go on Jeep roads, but this thing does pretty darn well off-road. And one of the things that they've added this year also is the X mode. X mode is something that uses braking system and the all-wheel drive system, and just gives you a little bit more capability off-road. And it's something they've had on the Forester and the Outback, I believe, for a couple of years, but it is new to the Crosstrek. So here's a quick look at the backup camera. You can see it's pretty good sized. So that's cool, and here's the home link. You just push that button and down she goes. One of the things that's kind of cool about this car is that when you putting it from reverse to drive, there used to be a pretty significant hesitation, and there isn't anymore. They've really, like I said earlier, they kind of got the CVT dialed in pretty good. I would say that even the other one shifted pretty much like a real automatic. I've been in a few CVT cars that it just felt really goofy. It's like they're just kept accelerating, and there was no real, that transmission sound when it changes gears. There wasn't any of that. But the Subaru's always done a pretty good job, but it's really nice now. They've done well. So what are the main reasons I decided to upgrade my 14 and get an 18? Let me first say that I absolutely love my 14. It was a great car. Did it have its problems? Yes. It was loud. It made a lot of noise under acceleration. The interior was very sparse and very utilitarian. Other than that, it was just a great all-around car. It got very good gas mileage, usually got about 28 to 30. It had decent amount of room. It was comfortable. It was easy to drive. It had fun steering, believe it or not. It had the 8.7 inches of ground clearance. It had Bluetooth connectivity for your phone, etc., etc. It was just a good all-around car. When I started reading the stuff that Subaru was putting out about the 2018, I thought, wow, if they've really addressed these other issues and have made the car as good as it sounds like it is, then I'm probably going to get one. So it kind of seemed like it was too good to be true, but they've basically taken a very good car that I really enjoyed owning and driving every day, and they've made it fantastic. The number one thing that I can say they've improved is how quiet it is inside the cabin. It is absolutely night and day different. Under normal driving conditions, under acceleration, everything, it is way better. I mean, absolutely way better. I cannot stress to you enough, if you own a 2013 Crosstrek or a 2014, drive the 18, you will not believe how quiet it is. I really don't know what they did to the car in 15, 16, and 17 as far as sound deadening, but whatever they've done this year compared to my year in 2014, it's incredible, so much better. There has been multiple times when I've been driving, whether it's to work or going to pick up my son or whatever, and I just cannot believe I stop and actually listen. I can't believe how quiet it is. They have improved all of the materials in the vehicle. The leather seats now are actually like leather seats. The leather in the 14 was, yeah, it was leather, but it was really not that great. Along the door sills, etc., kind of like I mentioned earlier, was just very hard plastic, very utilitarian. This is actually a very nice car now, and it still does all of the things that the 14 does, or did, and it does them better with X mode. It has the same amount of ground clearance. I have 18-inch wheels now. There's more room, easier access into the back, and actually better gas mileage. The new CVT, not only does it shift better, in my opinion, is quieter, but it has a 7th gear, or at least it acts like a 7th gear. So I'm getting a little bit better mileage as well. The other thing that Subaru's really improved is the infotainment system. I had a 2011 WRX STI, and the stereo was really very poor. I mean, I didn't have the upgraded stereo, but it just wasn't great. Part of that is because the car is loud, and I think part of the reason why this car sounds so much better inside is because of how quiet it is, but it seems like the stereo has been upgraded. Bluetooth is basically the same. The one complaint I do actually have is there's only one USB port in this vehicle. Obviously it does have a cigarette lighter, so you can have a little USB port. You really only need one, but if you're trying to charge a couple things at once, it's nice to have more than one of those. Apple CarPlay is cool, like I mentioned. I'm really enjoying using that. I haven't played with it a whole lot, but I do like that. I like the fact that you can simply touch this door handle and the car locks or unlocks. The push button start, yeah, it's kind of cool. Just being able to leave your key in your pocket. One of the other things that they did improve as well are the headlights. I honestly didn't know it at first, but they're adaptive steering headlights, so they turn when you turn the car, which is bizarre. I've never had that before. They're also LED, so they're a little bit brighter, and they kind of cleaned up the front end. I think it looks good, and I have to say I really love this color. I think it's one of those colors that maybe you love it or hate it, but I really enjoy it. I think it's cool. And as far as carrying my bikes and stuff, all the cars come with these roof racks. I put the crossbars and my 2 bike racks back on top. The only thing that I didn't switch over, because it would have been a real big pain to do, is my hitch. And I didn't really use the hitch that much, but I got it because if you have 3 people in the car, you kind of run out of room pretty quick if you're camping or even like making trips up to Flagstaff to stay with our friends. I was thinking about getting a little external carrier. I will say, I mentioned earlier that they do come with 18-inch wheels, and these wheels are not my favorite. I really was leaning towards the premium solely because of the wheels. These have grown on me a little bit. I've kind of accepted them, but I really disliked them initially. They're all right. They fit the car. I like the original Crosstrek wheels, and I actually do like the way the premium wheels look on the new one. What actually sold me on the Limited over the premium is XM is built in, and you cannot get XM on the premium. I did not get the EyeSight, which is Subaru's basically a driver assist. I guess it'll brake for you and do all that stuff. I have no interest in that stuff. I like to drive. Yeah, it'd be nice to sit on the freeway for 6 hours in a car that's driving you there, but I really have no interest. So I did not get that. I did not get a moonroof. And there was one other thing, navigation. So this car has everything on it that I wanted, with the addition of this blind spot warning. Has a backup camera, has all the infotainment stuff I need. So it's just a really great vehicle. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm really good about getting back to you and happy to answer anything for you I can.